Chapter 3. The Meaning of the One Vehicle. All Buddhas appear in the world for one great purpose. Though distinctions are made as to the three vehicles, ultimately they all rely on one vehicle. Therefore, Sakyamuni descended to this world to be born in a royal palace, left home, and attained the path according to his capability. He preached many different sermons. Some were at first direct, and later gradual. Some were at first gradual, and later direct. But all were taught as inducements to the Lotus Sutra. This is the meaning of the sutra, where it says, quote, "The teachings of expedient means are exposed like the opening of a gate, and the aspects of true reality revealed." Close quote. There are 4 sections for interpreting this meaning. The first is the explanation of terms. The second is the interpretation of the essence. The third is quotations from Scripture, that is, scriptural support. And the fourth is the interpretation. Explanation of terms. Question: what is the meaning of the term one vehicle? Answer: one means non-dual, and vehicle refers to a means of transportation. Question: what are the meanings of non-dual and a means of transportation? Answer: it is called non-dual because there are not 2 or 3 vehicles, and because it, the one vehicle, transcends the relativity of 2 or 3 vehicles. It is called a means of transportation because practitioners ride on it to attain omniscience. Interpretation of the essence. Question: what is the essence of the one vehicle? Answer: there are 2, the common essence and the distinctive essence. Question: what are the meanings of common essence and distinctive essence? Answer: the common essence is the true aspect of reality. The distinctive essences are the 4 categories of oneness. Question: the common essence is understood, but what is meant by the 4 categories of oneness of the distinctive essences? Answer: oneness of reality, oneness of teaching, oneness of practice, and oneness of persons. Question: what is the meaning of the oneness of reality, and so forth? Answer: exposing the reality of the 3 vehicles as manifested in the reality of the one vehicle is called the oneness of reality. Exposing the teaching of the 3 vehicles as manifested in the teaching of the one vehicle is called the oneness of teaching. The practice of the 3 vehicles is brought in harmony with the practice of the one vehicle. This is called the oneness of practice. The people in the 3 vehicles are brought in harmony with those in the one vehicle. This is called the oneness of persons. Question: why is it said that the reality of the 3 vehicles is brought into harmony with the reality of the one vehicle, and so forth? Answer: because the 3 vehicles are not the fundamental intent of the Buddha. The one vehicle is the fundamental import of the Buddha. Scriptural support. Question: the meaning of the one vehicle is established on the basis of what scripture passages? Answer: the Lotus Sutra says, quote, "All Buddhas, the world-honored ones, appear in this world for one great deed as cause and condition." Question: what is the meaning of one great deed as cause and condition? Answer: one refers to the true reality that there are not 3, 5, 7, or 9 vehicles. Therefore it is called one. It is called great because its nature is vast and expansive. It is called deed because it is the activity of all Buddhas who appear in this world. It is called cause because sentient beings who have the capability thus approach the Buddha. It is called condition because the Buddha responds in accordance with their capabilities. Question: although you have quoted this text, the meaning is still not clear. Are there other passages? Answer: there are truly many passages. The Lotus Sutra says, quote, The words of all Buddhas and Tathagatas are not vain delusions. There is no other vehicle but the one Buddha vehicle. Close quote. It also says, quote, in the Buddha lands in the 10 directions, there is only one Buddha Dharma, not 2 and not 3. Close quote. It also says, quote, the appearance of all Buddhas in this world is only one true deed. Close quote. It also says, quote, all the world-honored ones expound the path of the one vehicle. Close quote. It also says, the words of all the Buddhas are not different. There is only one and not 2 vehicles. Close quote. It also says, quote, it is widely said to the great multitudes that all bodhisattvas and Sravaka disciples are taught and transformed only with the way of the one vehicle. Close quote. Also, the chapter on expedient means in the Lotus Sutra contains sections on 5 kinds of Buddhas. The first section on all Buddhas says, quote, all Buddhas preach the Dharma in accordance with what is appropriate. Close quote. This illustrates that the 3 tentative teachings, Tripitaka, shared, and distinct, are the exposition of expedient means. The sutra says, quote, this Dharma cannot be understood through conceptualization or discrimination. Close quote. This illustrates the one true perfect teaching which manifests true reality. Next, the section on the Buddhas of the past says, quote, all Buddhas utilize innumerable and incalculable expedient means and various stories, parables, and words to expound all dharmas for the sake of all sentient beings. Close quote. This clarifies the exposition of the tentative. The sutra says, quote, these dharmas are all those of the one Buddha vehicle. Close quote. This clarifies the manifestation of the real. Next, the section on future Buddhas says, quote, Sariputra, all future Buddhas should, upon appearing in this world, utilize innumerable and incalculable expedient means and various stories, parables, and words to expound all dharmas for the sake of all sentient beings. Close quote. This clarifies the exposition of the tentative. The sutra says, quote, all of these dharmas correspond to the one Buddha vehicle. Therefore, all sentient beings hear the Dharma from the Buddha, and everyone ultimately attains universal wisdom. Close quote. This clarifies the manifestation of the real. Next, the section on present Buddha says, quote, Sariputra, at the present time, in the immeasurable 100,000 million billion Buddha lands in the 10 directions, in the many places where all Buddhas, world-honored ones, benefit and pacify sentient beings, all of these Buddhas also utilize innumerable and incalculable expedient means and various stories, parables, and words to expound all dharmas for the sake of sentient beings. Close quote. This clarifies the expression of the tentative. The sutra says, quote, all of these dharmas correspond to the one Buddha vehicle. Therefore, all sentient beings hear the Dharma from the Buddha, and everyone ultimately attains universal wisdom. Close quote. This clarifies the manifestation of the real. Next, in the section on the Buddha Sakyamuni, it says, quote, Sariputra, I also now do the same. Knowing that all sentient beings have various desires and profound attachments, I therefore utilize various stories, parables, words, and the power of expedient means in order to preach the Dharma in accordance with their inherent natures. Close quote. This clarifies the exposition of the tentative. The sutra says, quote, Sariputra, in this way, all attain the one Buddha vehicle and universal wisdom. Close quote. This clarifies the manifestation of the real. Question. You said previously that the one Buddha vehicle consists of the 4 categories of oneness. Why do you now speak only of the one vehicle and not illustrate the 4 categories of oneness? Answer. The sections on the 5 kinds of Buddhas all include the 4 categories of oneness. Question: which passages do you mean? Answer: the section on all Buddhas says, quote, "The exposing, signifying, awakening, and entering of the Buddha's knowledge and insight," close quote. This refers to the oneness of reality. Only to teach and transform bodhisattvas refers to the oneness of persons. All of his actions are constantly for one purpose refers to the oneness of practice. He preaches the Dharma for the sake of sentient beings, utilizing only the one Buddha vehicle, refers to the oneness of teaching. The section on past Buddhas says, "These Dharmas are all those of the one Buddha vehicle," referring to the oneness of teaching. To hear the Dharma from all Buddhas refers to the oneness of persons. In the phrase, "ultimately everyone attains universal wisdom," this wisdom consists of both the knower and the known. That which is known is the one reality, and the knower refers to the oneness of practice. The sections on future Buddhas, present Buddhas, and the Buddha Sakyamuni can be known in the same way.